Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the purple Vegeta, Super Saiyan God SS and his Zenkai. And specifically how good is his Zenkai comparative to his original performance. So obviously he's a 1% sparking Zenkai. For people who don't know, that means he's like a general banner unit. He's a sparking unit. He's not legends limited in that, and these are generally 50-50. They either like really good or really average. Vegeta's feels pretty decent. Personally feels pretty solid. I think a lot of that's due to his support functions and utility, but we'll take a look. So in terms of his main ability, changed a little bit. He now gets 15% health back, but beyond that, nothing too crazy. The big thing about his main ability, that the reason why I didn't buff this, because he gives plus 30% to blast damage inflicted by allies or your buddy, which is really good. Like, it's a really good ability. In terms of his passives, obviously huge change has occurred here. Vegeta before was plus 20% to damage inflicted by allies every time you use a strike or blast arts card, and then basically he would be switched to standby, restore your ally key. Now, big change. So he restores his own key once. He also has plus 10% damage blast inflicted. He also nullifies enemy special action change cover when performing his attacks once whenever he switches in, and he gives 20% blast damage. So every time you switch him in, he can restore his own key, he can nullify special action cover, and he can give plus 20% to blast damage inflicted by allies, which means you can immediately switch in a blast damage unit and kind of go to town on the unit. Not to mention he restores key and draws a card when he switches out, so he's great for setting up blast damage dealers with just that passive alone. Moving on to his next, he's had a couple of changes. Increase to his damage inflicted, quite substantial. He's also got 60% to damage received, which is good. He needed that, didn't have it before. And then he also increases arts card draw speed, -5 to arts timer counter cost for the first 80 timers, all standard stuff. When he is defeated, he restores ally health, he gives increased damage inflicted, shortens ally substitutions, and reduces enemies Dragon Ball by 3. So he's got a ton of great utility just in his adjusted passives alone, not to mention he has 2 new ones, drawing blast arts cards next whenever he enters the battlefield, inflicting attribute downgrades now on the opposition. And whenever the enemy activates a special move, ultimate arts, while he's not defeated, it restores his own health, nullify unfavorable element factors, and shorten ally substitution counts, which is great. Then, in terms of his final passive, depending on your Vegeta clan and future clan units in your team, he will get an increase to damage inflicted, and -15 to special arts costs, and he gets key recovery, and also shortened substitution counts. So really, and when changing cover, he will destroy an enemy card and give them an increase to all costs. He's a huge setup unit. Like, if you're running a blast centric team, he is a massive setup unit for those teams, because you sub him in, you sub him out, he increases all the damage, provides healing, provides substitution time accounts, gives key. He's basically setting up whatever unit you have next. So if you use him, open up the combo, hit the enemy, switch out, continue the combo. There's no special action cover change, increased damage, increased key, drawing cards, you destroy an enemy card. It's really impressive. His green card's changed. He now increases damage inflicted, increases lost card drawing speed, destroys an enemy's card as well, which is crazy. Seals the enemy's rising rush as well. I mean, he's really good. Obviously, you get a Z power from Zenkai Rush Battle. You get a Z power from summoning if you want to. You get it from completing his missions. All the standard, methods of getting Z power or Zenkai awakening power for these units that I think most players shouldn't be surprised by. Obviously, it's just standard practice for him, and generally, it's just pretty good. Of course, outside of that, realistically speaking, would you summon from him? I don't think you should. That's just how it is. I think rather just leave it. And other than that, it's who he boosts. So he's a purple future Zenkai booster, which right now I will say is not the most remarkable. There's not big standout purple future units. There are units that benefit from it. The new summonable Frieza Piccolo, sorry, the new summonable Frieza Cell. I mean, I guess he's part Piccolo. And then obviously like Legends Limited Cell, I guess Legends Limited Goku Rose. But there's no standout right now, which leads me to believe one of the next summonable units during the celebration will be Purple Future, which is how they tend to do it. So yeah, that's it from me. Bye.